Hello, everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is the Four Side Pod, as you already know. This is where we discuss match day updates, reviews, reaction from all across Europe top leagues, including the UEFA Champions League. It's the Champions League round of 16 night. This is the first leg of the round of 16, and we had so many games happening at the same time and beautiful, interesting games. I must say, there were goals everywhere tonight. I have Obina, I have Ernie on the panel as usual, and we'll be breaking down the games that went down tonight. So, uh, I mean, in no particular order, gentlemen, I'm sure you guys had seen different games tonight. Maybe starting
Yep.
with Obina. Obina, can you just run us through the game that you watched? And was there anything spectacular? Was the drama, the goals? Just let us know.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Yeah, good to be here. I was looking forward to doing this review. The match I watched was the Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham match. Atletico won resoundingly 5-2. What does this mean for Tottenham? Well, if you watched my preview, I said that Tottenham Tottenham needed to come here and just, try and defend. And there are also repercussions for the manner of the result. So if you lose big, I have a very good feeling that it might affect the future of Igor Tudor, the coach of Tottenham Hotspur. Well, today was all about error laden performance from the goalkeeper. It was very interesting the lineup that Igor Tudor brought in today. He benched Solanke, Xavi Simons, also benched their number one goalkeeper Vicario, and you bring on and you put Kinski. This is Kinski's first game since October. So whether he was match rusty or not ready, he made lots of errors today. And I think in 15 minutes, Spurs had considered 3 goals. After the third goal, Igor Tudor substituted him, took him off. He was so downtrodden. He just left the pitch. Like he walked out, he walked down through the tunnel, and some Tottenham players even followed him. But what was very, very, very sad was that when the guy was walking up the pitch, Igor Tudor did not even acknowledge him, did not even say, oh, like, what's up? Like, oh, like, don't worry, sorry about that. No, it was almost like, just please get out. Let us just get on with the game, you know. By halftime, they brought in all the players that were supposed to play. They brought on Gallagher, Solanke, and later on they brought in Xavi Simon. So they brought in the players that we kind of expected to start. So those players came on. There was a bit more stability in the second half, but ultimately these guys came, scored a fourth and a fifth goal. The fifth goal, brilliant goal by Julian Alvarez. I think it was very poor from Jed Spence. Jed Spence, it was 4-1, and Tottenham had a corner. It was a very just it was he was going to cross the ball into the 18-yard box, and there was no cover. Like there was literally nobody there in case Atletico should clear the ball, that maybe a Tottenham player would come and like get the ball or try and just some kind of protection. There was nothing, so it was very careless. It was almost like there was this resignation that, look, whatever I do here today, it doesn't matter. We're already losing the game, and we most likely will have a new manager come the weekend or very soon. So it was a very poor decision from them. Crossed the ball in. Atletico won the ball. Nice counter. Beautiful pass from Griezmann for Julian Alvarez, who went in and who ran down pitch, down across from his own half to the Tottenham half. It was interesting. He was being chased by Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro is one of the fastest players in Tottenham. Porro was kind of catching up to Julian Alvarez, but almost like the last 5 yards, he almost just kind of stopped. Like, you know what? Let me just. I don't want to even put in that final effort. So he then continued Alvarez and scored. At the end of the day, Tottenham managed to pull one goal back, 5-2. I don't think this is a result that says, "Oh, it was respectable." That scoreline is what it should have been much worse than that. The players look resigned to the fact that, look, we're out of the Champions League. Let's focus on the Premier League. And a final point I wanted to mention was when Igor took off Jet Spence. When he took him off, also didn't even acknowledge that, when he's taking you off, you want to go and quickly say, "Oh, like you did one nothing." He just allowed Spence walk, just
Get out of my sight.
and sit down. So the commentator mentioned that Jet Spence actually came from the bench, tapped the back of Igor Tudor. When Igor Tudor turned back, he then shook his hand, like telling him that you didn't shake me before, you didn't shake the keeper that left, so you removed after 17 minutes, at least shake me, like just kind of, it was, I guess it was either a mockery of the situation of like, like shake me, like I acknowledge that I also played or I'm a part of the team or something like that. It was very interesting that the commentator noted that particular incident, but overall, terrible from Tottenham. I think this seals the fate for Igor Tudor. I think he will be sacked. There is no way this team can go to Liverpool and play. And just the icing on the cake for Liverpool in terms of preparation for this match is Tottenham also had a few injuries. I think Romero is probably injured. Palia has a concussion. I think Van der Ven misses the match against Liverpool. So we're looking at a team that has only 14 fit players, probably have just 11 fit players for the weekend. So overall, very, very, very poor from Tottenham.
Yeah. I mean, so much happened in that game. I know, Annie, you have your thoughts on what Obina has just said. Well, maybe take us through the game that you watched, and then we can come back to ask Obina a question.
Sure. So I want to give my St. James Park, Newcastle versus Barcelona. Again, an amazing game to be end-to-end stuffs, in the words of Obina. Bright game. But again, it's similar to the things we spoke about on Saturday or when we last episode. It's the lack of optimization from those Newcastle players. Honestly, I don't know. I think we saw the Manchester United Elanga today, and also good to watch. This was the Man U Elanga, like that purposeless, fast, sweep, directionless, poor decision making Elanga today. Honestly, if they had two wingers that had common sense, they should have won this game by a mile. There was no clear attack. Lewandowski was just strolling up in the game. Again, much respect to Hansi Flick. Played his high line. He didn't even care if he had to manage. And by the way, he didn't have his standard fullbacks. Kunde was out injured and Balde injured. So he had to play this kid, forgotten his name, and played Araujo, as a right fullback. I played Garcia and this guy in central midfield. So it goes to show the intensity of the English Premier League, to be fair, because it was a man-to-man. Honestly, if you had peeped into that game, you'd have thought it was a Clasico of some sort, right? Both managers set up their team perfectly well. Goal is, again, Ramsdale, excellent goalkeeping. Tonali, bro, you guys have to get Tonali, man. Man, you have to get Tonali.
Top guy.
Like, imagine Tonali boxing in midfield with Pedri. Like, that's the level we're talking. And he was the set why Joe Linton and Jacob Ramsey. Amazing game, but this is one of Jacob Ramsey's best game I've ever seen in a Newcastle jersey. This is the Jacob Ramsey we used to see at Villa, right? Amazing game as well. But I don't know, man. The attackers were Elanga, Harvey Barnes, and it was shambolic on their end. Missed their chances, and hopefully, again, 1-1, last minute penalty that was hard to wear. It was a penalty. I mean, Child literally got his shin. So, but yeah, it was an amazing game. Good to watch. Honestly, at the Camp Nou with that big space, I'm hoping we get more productive with their attacking options, and yeah, we should see something progressive.
All right. Again, I'll come back to you on the Liverpool Galatasaray game, and I have a lot of thoughts on what you have just on the game that you have just analyzed. But very quickly, I watched the Atalanta versus Bayern Munich game.
Lord,
I mean, there was no, or there were no surprises in that game like
No
we had.
surprises, bro.
You know, Bayern showed complete dominance from start to finish in that game. It was an absolute demolition of the only Italian team still in the Champions League. In less than 10, 12 minutes, they scored the first goal from
As
uh,
it was.
from Stanisic.
Stansic here. Stansic.
Stanisic. Yeah. So they had about five different scorers today, with Ulisse scoring two. He was almost going to get a hat trick, but he was unable to nail that hat trick that he wanted so much. Um, Among the scorers, we have Nicholas Jackson,
My boy,
who is improving his haters
Ricky, baby.
run, and this is his third goal in about
Ready for Man U. Yeah, ready for Man U.
Champions League games this season. Bayern were ruthless all through the first half, and they were able to score 3 goals. In the second half, they wanted to rotate their team, so they brought in Alfonso Davies and Yaman
Oh,
Musiala.
Davies, nice.
Davies back, yeah.
Davies-
Glad.
Yeah, in my mind, I thought that, hey, because he just came back from the injury, the Vincent Company wanted to give him some minutes to just keep things fresh. But the surprising part is, just at the start of the second half, Atlanta also took off Skamaka,
Kamaka.
Oh,
Oh,
is
wow, was he injured?
wow.
their main guy, and they
Was he
brought.
injured?
Well, we will need to find out why that changed.
Jeez.
They brought in a defender for in place of him, and honestly,
That's
I'm
interesting.
sure I don't know what the coach was thinking there. Maybe he wanted to reduce the deficit by bringing on an extra defender, but the game, his game plan didn't work. As Bayern actually scored 3 more, but they had a couple of setbacks. Even though they won 6, they had 2 injuries.
Oh,
A serious
Ooh.
scare on Alfonso Davies, who came in second and removed almost 20 minutes after. He was removed in the 70th minute for picking up an injury. I didn't really see the tackle. It looks like those kind of injuries where you probably sprain something at some point, but his countenance looked really bad. He practically cried off the pitch, and he had a lot of players coming to him to console him. I'm sure that might impact his World Cup ambition.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
95 days, bro.
Towards the end of the game, Musiala, who also just came back,
Yeah.
picked up an injury, and
Hey.
Bayern had to finish that game with 10 players on the pitch. Now, the
Without
moment
the-
they removed Musiala, they had no substitution, no subs left. no subs.
Wow.
So at that point, that was the point where Atlanta scored the consolation goal they had.
Shameless.
They took out Musiala and then they scored the next minute. In scoring that goal, they also took out Bayern's goalkeeper, who hopped out of the pitch injured. Bayern grabbed a 6-1 convincing victory tonight, but they went in with 3 injuries.
They had to catch those stray bullets.
Yeah, and I think there was something else that was interesting. Kimmich had a yellow card, which clearly looked deliberate because he knows he was going to miss the next game. So the next game they were already up by 6 goals to 1.
Yeah, that's a very good yellow, a very tactical yellow.
Yeah, but all in all, Bayern were doing their Bayern things, what they know how to do best. There was no one expected them to lose tonight. Maybe not by this margin, but they did their job and they did it well. Let's quickly go to the Liverpool Galatasaray game. I think Ernie, you saw that game, and I also saw that game. Yeah. What were your thoughts? I mean, you initially predicted that Liverpool.
I think this one I got it wrong, fans. I think Liverpool is worse than we think. To be fair, I don't see Slot continuing. If it continues like this in the next 2 seasons, no. It was, yes, we understand Gala high press. We see Medine. It's like Everybody knows what Osimhen does. Like, honestly, there's nothing Osimhen did in that game that was strange. Is he intensive pressing? Will press you hard. But when you have a misfiring, that midfield is just Florian Wirtz is giving us the Wirtz of that early season Wirtz.
Played?
It's not flowing. It's not flowing. Florian is not flowing. I mean, that's a line. Write that down. Florian,
This is not played.
Salah, honestly, bro, Salah days. She just go to Saudi and collect money. I think there's nothing there again. There's nothing there. It was a good game, but I mean, there was no real. Yes, a few scares here and there, but it always sounded like Gala were. And I know Danny, you did mention that in Istanbul, it's a different. I think I said that. Said that Istanbul is a different.
They don't lose there.
They don't. Yeah, I think that's the part I missed. But that crowd, that I don't know anyone who would survive. But yeah, it was an amazing game. Our boy Mario, who missed the last, Lamina, who missed the last game. I think he was injured and got back, and very responsive midfield. And happy for it. It was good seeing Gundogan again come in. I don't know, I like it. My favorite player, but it was a good game overall. Yeah.
You didn't give Gundogan a high pass when we were talking about the preview, but thank God that you're acknowledging. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. It wasn't just a nice football game to watch. It was also close. Not like Galatasaray won that game by a large mile, but everything was cagey. Ball possession was Liverpool had 46.
It's almost balanced.
Liverpool had more of the possession, 54%, and Galatasaray had 46%.
Close margins, man.
The XG were very close. They have 15 shots each, total shots. Big chances created, 3-3. So Liverpool had one of their goals disallowed. Galatasaray also had one of their goals disallowed. They thought they were going to be up by 2-0. Those goals were also very controversial, especially the Galatasaray goal, which was good as an offside. But I'm sure a lot of people will debate that. Was it really an offside or?
The draw line, boss. Once they draw that line, you can't argue with the line, bro.
I mean, it wasn't one of those line scenarios. It was one of the players interfering with play. All of those kind of subjective.
Yeah, very subjective.
Yeah.
He says touch the ball. Somebody else did, but maybe
you think
you make emotion towards the ball.
You make emotion, bro. You're offside. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it.
Yeah. So, but Liverpool, Galatasaray has showed once again dominance in Istanbul. They are beating Liverpool. We already said that even if they are going to win this game, it will be through a very close margin. Now it's for Liverpool to also go to their fortress in Anfield and see if they can, replicate this, win 3-1 or 2. Now no more away goals. So if they get 2-1, they force the game into extra time, probably see if they can see it out. So let's piggyback to Obina's game, the game against Spurs and Atletico Madrid. I know we have overflogged. We got Tudor's position, if he's going to be sacked or not. In the few times that I peeped to see that match, there were some terrible tackles going in. I thought that Van der Vaart could have been sent off if he made a tackle in the first half. If he were in Premier League, he would have gotten a red for that.
Yeah.
What do you make of Igor Tudor's lineup? What was he thinking when he decided to put the big guns on the bench? Was he trying to send a message to people like Vicario, to people like Xavi Simons? Why were they not in the starting lineup?
Yeah, honestly, that's the $1 million question. Like nobody really knows what he was thinking. And I mentioned in the preview that somebody was joking. It was probably just a joke on Sky Sports or some other sports channel that this is probably the first time that Tottenham or any team might be resting players in the Champions League because of the Premier League. And when I was saying it before, that you need to make a decision as to what you want to chase. You can't be so You can't be down there in the Premier League and still try and be punching up in the champ. You can't do that. You don't have the players for it. So you need to prioritize properly. In this match today, he how do you bring in a goalkeeper that has not kept for you since October? How do you do that in a Champions League match? You drop him, you drop Palinha, you drop Gallagher, you drop Solanke, you drop Xavi Simons, you drop those five players, and you come here and you're like, what did you expect to get? I don't know what he was doing. Is it that he was saving them for Liverpool, or he was trying to pass a message? If you were to ask me, I think he was trying to pass a message that, oh, I can actually drop these players, because someone like Vicario, who is also one of the leaders of the team, you don't drop him for this kind of game. Like, yes, Tottenham are not doing well, but still put him there. He can still lead. He leads very well from the back by screaming and shouting at the defenders and trying to organize and everything. And the person you put in today, first 14 minutes, 3 goals. Like, that already is just a testament to the kind of decision you've made. It was terrible. It was a rubbish decision. They've brought you in for stability, and you're bringing this kind of volatility. That is not what Tottenham have asked of you. And I'm very sorry to say this, and I'm probably going to say it again. I think he'll be sacked.
You know what?
He'll be sacked.
I mean, we put out a question to him. What is your priority gonna be? And based on his lineup, I guess he already answered us. His priority is probably the Premier League. We are going to see his lineup on Saturday, and we'll conclude.
Will he make it to Saturday or Sunday? Will he make it there? I don't think so. I told you guys that the manner of the result. So if you come and you lose 3-4-0, the Tottenham board are not going to come and say, well, okay, what's going to happen? You're going to lead us again against Liverpool. Liverpool just lost today to Galatasaray. They are hurting. Do you think they want to come and then, obviously they want to put a very good performance, on at weekend and beat Tottenham. Tottenham might not have Van de Ven, they might not have Romero, they might not have Palinha, so they're going to have an inexperienced defense against Liverpool. Oof, that'll be a tough one to watch.
Yeah. So before I ask my final question, which is I'm going to go around again, ask you guys what your thoughts are on who's going to progress. But Ernie, on the Newcastle and Barcelona game, would you say that Newcastle had a great night tonight?
Oh, they had a great what?
Would you say they had a great night?
Oh, they had a great night. I mean, come on, man! You're hosting Barcelona in St. James Park. It's. I mean, that's why we're watching. I think commentator said there's a road map. You won't believe it. I just laughed. So the Newcastle ownership, the Saudi ownership says their goal is for Newcastle to be a top club by the year 2030. And we're like, it's like this guy's maybe it's in the Super League that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great night for them. I mean, they're looking at Newcastle. We all grew up watching, right? Seeing them in the Champions League round of 16, battling Barcelona. Yes, they had a great game. Eddie Howe, give it up to him. He fought like he's trying, to be fair. Like, he came out bold. I expected at one point in time they would sit back. It's Barcelona. No, they played man for man, right? It was just the inexperience of his players. His players let him down today. The likes of Elanga and Harvey Barnes were just this guy Ursula showed his inexperience today. I think they rushed to. I honestly felt they should have. Gordon couldn't start because I think he was ill, so he could only play for 20-30 minutes. Yeah, so he came in. I honestly, if Gordon started, they would have won this game.
I think we also mentioned that in our preview that Osula might actually start, but
yeah, you did mention true. He did start because of Man U.
Because he also started the Man City game and he showed his inexperience.
I think it was just
if you look at the goal he scored against Man U, you could just see that excitement.
Yeah, it was all this,
it was Makeda kind of one moment and then you score. But just what are your predictions for that game? What do you think is going through?
It's going to be tight. But it's the Camp Nou. I see Barca going through. That inexperience will fall in again. they'll lose that. They'll lose. Don't take advantage of the high line. And I see Barcelona.
Obina, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, I'm with Annie. I think Barcelona will go through. Yeah, I like I said in the preview, Newcastle is just
Yeah,
physicality, and
no,
they
no, no brain
they
work.
always do it. They do it at St James Park. They do it at St James Park, and then because they have the fans, when they rush you and they
Yeah,
push,
they're
they are very
shouting.
brutal. The referee forgets to give a yellow card. Joe Linton was just going around today bullying everybody.
Bullying people.
But now the difference is when you go and apply that at the Barca Stadium, for every foul the referee
There's a pressure on
blows,
the
the
ref. Yeah.
fans will just scream.
Yeah.
You need to be a very strong referee not to want to pull out a card and give out a yellow card. So I expect Barca to go. Again, I think it will still be a very tough one.
Oh, it's very
I
tough.
think it will be. I don't think it's going to be an easy ride for Barcelona.
Nope.
Like Annie said, good game from Newcastle. They could have if I didn't even know that Gordon didn't start. I just seen it, not that he didn't start. If he started that game,
Oh, they won that game.
yeah, and maybe Newcastle would have won. But when I saw that penalty, that last minute penalty, I was like, damn, that is a tough one. But yeah, Barca to go through.
I'll have to go the other way since both of you have already you have already tipped Barca to win. I think that this particular Barcelona team, they don't have that cutting edge that the
Yeah,
Barcelona
they
team
don't.
to have.
Lewandowski is aged out, man.
Go against Premier League side.
Yeah.
Any Premier League side that is fast, any Premier League side that is hardworking, that is physical,
Like
they-
Chelsea.
yeah, they are likely to struggle. If Newcastle goes there with a complete squad in the likes of Gordon's, I don't know if Bruno will be back by then. They probably stand a chance. So yeah, Obina, just quick predictions. So, I mean, would there be anything to predict? Who's
What do you want to predict?
Atletico? Who is going?
What do you want to predict?
I expect
Maybe
Atletico to
if it's
they
the
should
case of
they should
Amontado.
rotate. They should rotate for that match. Like I don't know what
Put their
that
team B,
match. They
reserve.
should just put their team B. They should put their team B because I don't think there's anything for
They
Tottenham.
might not have a coach by that next game. So
They might not even have a. They might have. I don't know. Is it their fourth or fifth manager? I don't even know. They usually Tottenham. Whenever they sack the coach, they always bring in Ryan Mason. They just bring on Ryan Mason to come and coach them to the end of it. He might be the next coach by then. They might have Ryan Mason for Liverpool and have another manager for this second leg.
Yeah.
The constant is going to be an Atletico.
But sorry, Danny. What do you think? What do you think the Tottenham problem is? Again, I know it's an ownership problem. But what's going on with Tottenham, man?
Do you know it? There are so many things I'm just thinking about now, but I don't. If you say the ownership problem, I mean Levy is out.
Yeah,
I think what has really hampered them this season was their inaction in January. January came and they had the opportunity to spend more, to spend and salvage their season. The only person they got, I believe, was Conor Gallagher. And the reason why they got him was they felt like, let's just bring in one player, let's bring in a midfielder, let us save anything we want to do for the summer with hopefully either if it's not a new coach or something. So they wanted to. Clubs are reluctant to spend in January because what do you want to do in the summer? The only club that does that is Man City. Man City, they have so much money. The last 2 January windows, they spent almost 500 million. They don't care. January. So I think that January really stopped them. And the second thing is, whilst Thomas Frank was not doing well, I don't think they anticipated the revival of West Ham. I think they just felt like, we can somehow just get through. But seeing what West Ham are doing and how Nottingham, fired Sean Dyche and got another person, giving them a small revival, now they are under pressure. So maybe those two things, it might not be the primary reason, but that's what I kind of identify right now.
I mean, we've spoken about this over and over again in different episodes, and if you want to see or hear what we have said, please watch our previous episodes.
Yes, please.
But now every day that I see this team, I just ask myself, should they have sacked Thomas Frank?
A long time ago.
Maybe they should have given him more time because he was trying to. Should it even be that question? Maybe should they have sacked Angera? I don't know.
Probably was he should have left. That no argument.
Yeah, okay, let's leave it at Thomas Frank. You know, he played different formation, and you could see that he was trying to understand the team or put or have a plan. And this is somebody with Premier League experience who has been tried and tested in the Premier League. Going to get Igor has just made it worse for them.
Yeah.
And it will take. This is a situation where you're just sinking and there's no way to help. You'll be very lucky or fortunate. They will be very fortunate if they stay up. But typically, teams like this eventually.
Very tough.
There's another thing I wanted to mention is the indiscipline that was in Tottenham team. I don't know if you guys remember when Van de Ven and Spence, when they were walking off the pitch and they just ignored him. Like I think he was calling them to say, let's go and thank the fans, and they just ignored him. So I think there's another thing again. If you don't have control of the dressing room, if players don't respect you, I don't think there was no long-term future for Thomas Frank. You throw in the bad results and that indiscipline, you just had to go.
Yeah, you just have to go. Here you have it, guys. Again,
the Liverpool game. You don't want to talk about
the Liverpool game. Okay. Let me hear if Rain is going to change his mind.
No. Again, I would still stick to Galatasaray going through this time around. So it's a switch for me.
Really?
Yes, there will be no surprises. If Liverpool play the same way they played, which they've not had great games at Anfield. So Anfield is no longer the fortress it used to be. So all that, they will never walk alone, bruh.
In the Champions League, the last time you how did you say? You said the big teams will always be the big teams.
Yeah, big team. But I think Liverpool right now, they don't fit into that kind. What they played today, I watched that game. That's not how big teams play. No confidence, no drive, nothing. So I give it to my boys.
I give it to Liverpool. I think like Danny said, it's a fortress. Anfield will prove to be a fortress. Whatever Galatasaray could not do, I think Liverpool will do it, and then they'll go through. And just to throw it in here, Bayern Munich, congratulations for qualifying for already. I'm just saying it in advance. Just congratulations.
Congratulations.
They have a place in the quarter. They are the first team to qualify for the quarterfinal already. Without playing second leg. They already
remontada, bro. Remontada.
I will still go with for the Liverpool
Atlanta.
game.
I will go with that.
I'll go with Galatasaray winning.
If they win, they go. They're through.
Also, Galatasaray they're terrible away, so I'm just
they're terrible away.
Thinking about it. But Liverpool have been equally terrible, and they're going to lose it. They are going to have like difficult games in the Premier League leading up to that game. So I would tip Galatasaray to win and inform that Victor Osimhen is.
Babo.
All right. Yeah, you have it. Once again, thank you guys for your analysis, for always being available to share your thoughts on the Champions League. We'll have to come back again for the second leg and give our predictions for the quarterfinals. All right, so here you have it, guys. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, let us see your thoughts in the comment section. Engage with our post across all social media platforms. And don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. It's the Foresight Pod.
Foresight Pods.
Thank you for watching.
Guys. Thank you. Bye, everyone.